Today on Rocky Road Homestead and Cooking, we're going to be cooking a brisket today that I thawed out. And we're going to go ahead and trim it. We're going to get some of this fat off of it, and we're going to flip it over and get some of the little bit of fat off the other side too. So we're going to go ahead and trim this thing so we can get it on the smoker. So we're going to go ahead and get a lot of this bit off. Get some of the, yeah, that's already coming off. We'll get all this off. I finished trimming it. Like I said, I'm not a professional at this. I just do as good as I can. I leave a 1/4 inch of, at least a 1/4 inch worth of fat on the bottom of the brisket, because I put this down first. So that's the first side I season, and I use the all-purpose salt, pepper, garlic seasoning first. I just put a light layer of that. I've been doing that the last couple times I've been doing brisket, and it seems like it. I mean, I think I can taste it just a little bit. Then I pat that in, then I really like this coffee rub. It's got mostly coffee in it, and gives it a really nice color. And I think a pretty good taste. I put, it's a pretty good size of meat, and I don't put no binder because there's quite a bit of moisture on this thing. I'm one of those people that I'm not a big binder person, so I kind of like using what's on the meat already for everything. So we'll do it again, do the layer of salt, pepper, garlic on there. And do a little bit of, then I do this one a lot heavier because this is the main rub. Get it all over everything. And this will make this turn to a pretty nice bark. It always looks pretty. We'll let this sit here for a minute too before we put it on the smoker, kind of let it sweat a little bit with these rubs on there. Let it kind of soak into the meat a little bit for probably about 5 minutes. And I'll take y'all out while I put it on the smoker, and we'll get that going. So we'll see you in about 5 minutes. All right, it's been about 5 minutes, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing on the smoker. The smoker is preheated to 250 degrees. Put that on there like that. Put this in the thickest part of the brisket. Right there. We'll come back in about 2 hours and check on it. You want it to get about 165 degrees, and then we're going to wrap it. So we'll come back in a couple hours and show you what it looks like. Alright, it's been about the 2 hour mark, so we're going to check it. You can see that the rub is kind of set, so it looks pretty good. So we're going to take a little bit of apple juice and kind of put it back on there. Out of the base. It'll dry out. We'll come back in about a little bit longer, and we'll wrap it and do the next part of this cook. Alrighty, it's been about 4 hours. It's at 167, so it's time to get it wrapped up so we can get this thing done. It looks really good. It looks like it got plenty of smoke on it. So all I like to do is take 2 things of foil, breezy day out here today, so the wind's not too terribly bad. So we'll go ahead and just grab it. Put it over. It looks really good all right now. So we'll go ahead and let's wrap this thing. I got a little bit of this apple juice left that I had left over from basting it, so we'll just kind of spread that around there to kind of help it have a little bit of liquid already in there. Not too terribly much of it. Or you can use beef broth. I use beef broth sometimes, and I think it really does help. So what we'll do is go ahead and wrap this thing. We'll get this thing kind of wrapped over. I like using foil instead of the butcher paper, just because this is my preference. I like using the foil. You can use butcher paper if you want to. And I'm going to do, I think, one more sheet going the opposite way to help it seal up. So we'll get one more sheet of foil. Kind of help it. Put it back on there. We'll wrap it the other way just to kind of help it out a little bit. Get that thing all nice and wrapped up. Put it right back on the smoker. We'll come back here in about 4 hours to show you what it looks like. All right, it's been about 3.5 hours wrapped, and I think it's pretty much ready to pull it. It's about 210 degrees, and you can tell, you can check it. You see how easy that probe is going in there? So that thing is very tender. And you can check it, it's 210 there, 210, 209, 210, so I think it's a good place to pull it. We're gonna pull it off of here. And we're going to get over here in this cooler and wrap it up with a towel. And I'm gonna let it rest in there for about an hour, and we'll take it out of there and we'll take it to the kitchen and cut it. We'll show you what that looks like here in about an hour. Alrighty, it was resting for an hour in the cooler. I already got it unwrapped from the foil, so we're gonna go ahead and cut it with this electric knife. We'll go ahead and get this thing cut. Smoke ring's really nice. Alrighty, we got it all cut up, and it's really nice and tender. See that nice, beautiful little smoke ring, even off a pellet smoker. It gets a nice smoke ring. The very, very, very tender, and they taste very good. But what we don't eat tonight, what we do with it, since we're only a family of 4, we'll take servings for our family, and we have a vacuum sealer, and we'll let it cool off, and we'll vacuum pack it, and we'll put it in the freezer for later. And you can thaw it out, wrap it in foil, and warm it up. It's like you just cooked it. Like if you feel like you want some brisket, but you don't want to go through all the 8 hours of waiting for it, it's a good way to cook one and save some for later. But this is my recipe for a brisket. If y'all like this recipe, please like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.